ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕੋ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੀਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਇਸ ਪਾਸੇ ਲਾਇਆ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ, ਸੁਣਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ, ਟੈਲੀਵਿਜ਼ਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ, ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੋਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ, ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਇਸ ਮਾਧਿਅਮ ਦੇ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਬਾਨਾਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ-ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀਜ਼ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ-ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ-ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਅਚੀਵਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ। ਇਹ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਕਿਸ ਕਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਲਾਂਘਾ ਭਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਆਓ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
What would it take to change the world? Provide food to the hungry and water to the thirsty. Teach children to read and keep them healthy. Shelter families and train a new generation. Give the poor a chance to better themselves. Create a worldwide network of peacemakers. And conquer a disease that has killed or crippled millions. Could one person do it? What about 1.2 million?
My name is Frank Wesso.
Tamara DeWitt.
Gaston Cabat. Ed Jada.
Eu sou Adélia Vilas.
Dr. Naresh Goya.
Meu nome é Awalmão.
Gary Parrish.
Warren Coffin.
Lisa Simmons.
Eric Kimani.
Meu nome é Eduardo.
Singh Arora.
Megan Coutinho.
These men and women are changing the world. They're members of Rotary. Professionals and community leaders organized into more than 32,000 clubs worldwide. They volunteer at the local, regional, and international levels and dedicate themselves to a simple motto: service above self.
That's what Rotary is all about. Vision to see, faith to believe, and courage to act.
So many of us, we sit back and we go, gee, I'd really like to help somewhere in the world, but I don't know how to do it. And Rotary gives you all the tools you need.
Personalmente tengo.
Just the fact that you are a Rotarian opens doors all over the world.
For members of Rotary, no project is too big. Working with UNICEF, the World Health Organization, and the CDC, Rotary has immunized more than 2 billion children against polio and reduced the disease by more than 99% worldwide.
With not too many dollars, these Rotarians and our partners are doing a tremendous job, very effectively, very efficiently.
Rotary has spent more than $500 million on international scholarships and foreign exchange, while its graduate-level programs in conflict resolution train peacemakers from around the world.
When I started working for Interpol at the United Nations, I already had the background to understand international relations.
For Rotary members, the reward is immense and immediate.
Helping others is one of the things that they really enjoy. It makes my day.
The salary I receive spiritually is so huge that you cannot put a value on it.
C'est un peu égoïste d'être Rotarian. Being a Rotarian is almost selfish. Yes, I help people, but I get so much in return.
When our world seems senseless and even hopeless, Rotary Club members of all races, colors, and creeds join together to care.
Hopefully we can bring some hope and some help, emotionally as well as physically.
To protect.
The job that is to be done can be done.
To connect.
But no one has a dry eye at the end of these projects because the kids will come back and ask for a picture with their doctor.
And to make a difference.
It is possible because we are Rotarians. We can do it. We should do it.
But even for 1.2 million volunteers, changing the world is no easy task. Learn how you can become involved.
It only takes a drop to make a river. And all we have to do is just make sure that we are in the right direction, we are committed to it, and it will get done.
Rotary International. Ordinary people working together to accomplish extraordinary things.
आओ ਆਓ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਲਈ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਨੇ। ਉਹ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਪੂਰਨ ਤੇ ਸੰਪੂਰਨ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਰਪਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ। ਇਕੱਲੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਿਆਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸੁਣਾਂਗੇ, ਢੇਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਕਿਸ ਕੋਨੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਸੰਸਥਾ, ਇਹ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਦੇ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਜੁੜਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੁਰਾਂਗਾ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਚੈਨਲ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ। I am start from District Governor Mr. Brian Carpenter. He providing excellent service. He is doing from long time. He spent his very excellent part of his life to this organization. So if I can say and ask few words from Brian. Brian, Rotary International is everyone is now is very popular organization. Can you tell us about Rotary International? Also, you can tell us where this organization set up and when it's set up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Rotary International was started in 1905 over in Chicago, in America, by a gentleman called Paul Harris. And Paul Harris and a few of his colleagues, 5 of his colleagues, felt they wanted to meet on a regular basis to have a little bit of friendship.
Right.
Which they did, and they decided that at the same time as having friendship, they wanted to do some good to help other people in their community. And so they did. They set up what effectively was their first Rotary project, which was in fact providing some public toilets in Chicago. And from there, Rotary has grown and now has reached a figure of 1.2 million members worldwide, and it is in virtually every country in the world. When it started, it was set up by businessmen, and it was an organisation for businessmen only.
Right.
But that changed about 25 years ago when it became dual gender, and now ladies and gentlemen can now all be Rotarians. They can be professional people, they can be community leaders, they can be retired people. But at the moment we're trying to go through a transitional stage where we're trying to bring in new members and also increase the ethnic minority of members into Rotary. Because in England at the moment, in Great Britain, we're probably looking at 5% of ethnic members. Obviously there are more and more of them around the world, because in every country of the world, I mean Rotary is in India, it is also now in China as well, with 2 or 3 clubs there, and that's where Rotary is certainly going to expand in the very near future into that country.
How many years you have in this with the Rotary International?
I have been in Rotary International for 26 years.
Oh wow.
I was an inaugural member of my club 25 years ago, and I was introduced to Rotary by John Crawford, who telephoned me one evening and said, would you like to come along to an information meeting about Rotary? And I said, yes, fine. I don't know a lot about it. I'll do that.
You want to share some moment, is a golden moment with my view?
The Rotary, there's lots of facets to Rotary, and you can become involved in all sorts of things around the world with Rotary. When we started as a Rotary Club, one of the biggest projects that Rotary had at that time was to end polio now. And our very first project was to raise money to contribute to ending polio around the world. and that was 25, 26 years ago. It is still ongoing, but the last country to be declared polio free was India, and that now only leaves 3 countries left where polio is endemic, and that is in Pakistan, Afghanistan and Nigeria. But we're very close to, in fact we're that close to ridding the world of polio, and it's a continued project, one of the largest projects that Rotary has ever done, where the benefit of being a Rotary member helps, because clubs in every town, every country, worldwide, can help by raising money, providing people to go out to places where they need to have the vaccinations given and so forth. So that is a tremendous project that Rotary is involved with. But in addition to that, Rotary gets involved in local communities, and each club, no matter where it is, will have a local project that it gets involved with every year.
Well, this is very large organization. It's internationally well-known organization. How do you manage this organization?
It's managed by local Rotarians, like us here.
Yeah.
I am, for 1 year, looking after 63 clubs in our district, 1060, which is the heart of England, and we govern and manage those clubs. I then report, along with other 29 district governors in Rotary in Great Britain and Ireland, to that organisation, which then reports back to Rotary International in America, which is the main governing body. But everybody at Rotary International there is elected by Rotarians, either on a yearly basis or a 3-yearly basis, depending on the position that they have. So each year the president of Rotary International will change. This year it just happens to be an American, Ron Burton, and he is coming to Birmingham for the Rotary in Britain and Ireland conference in April, and also to celebrate with the Birmingham Club their 100th centenary.
Oh, that's very good.
Which
very
takes place in April. It is fantastic to have him come and visit us, especially on that occasion.
Thus, from your experience, you are providing very good service actually for the humanity, regardless anybody. You want to say, give any message you want to say to my viewers. You are watching in UK, Europe, and on the internet everywhere in the world. So want to say anything,
yes.
Give a message to my viewers?
Yes, I would say if you want to help people around the world, which is what we do, we are helping people in our community and around the world, get in touch with Rotary and ask people if you can join Rotary and become a Rotary member. The easiest way to do it is to go onto the internet and to the Rotary International website, which is rotary.org, and you'll see there that will introduce you to Rotary and what Rotary does. And also, if you want to join Rotary, Google join Rotary, and it will bring up a series of websites, and if you choose the 1060 Heart of England one, it will take you straight to the page that you can fill in, and that will be sent directed then to Rotary in Great Britain and Ireland, and they will then put that person in touch with the nearest club for them to join and to get involved.
That's very
it's quite easy really.
That's so, very good. That's very good. मेरे दर्शकों, चैरिटी घर तो शुरू हुंदी है, ये हुणे आप जी ने सुनिया, बड़ा सौखा है, गल्लां करनियां, काम करने बड़े औखे ने, पर शाबाश इन्हां दे जिहड़े काम करदे ने, गल्लां नहीं करदे, प्रैक्टिकल विच लियाउणा बहुत ज़रूरी है.
As a new member of your Rotary Club, you are now part of an international network of business and professional community leaders.
leaders who have chosen to make service to others an important part of their lives. Your club belongs to Rotary International, a worldwide community of more than 32,000 clubs in over 200 countries and geographical areas. As a member of your Rotary Club, you are a part of this global network of clubs, which is designed to enable members to maximize the power of their volunteer efforts locally and make an even greater difference worldwide. As you become familiar with Rotary, you will learn about the organization of its clubs and districts, its programs, and its leadership. The most important part of Rotary, however, is always the individual club and its members. Rotary clubs are the foundation of the organization. They are where service and fellowship begin. In your weekly meetings, you will learn about your club's projects and activities, which are guided by Rotary's 4 avenues of service. Club service, which focuses on club administration, strengthening fellowship, and helping the club run smoothly. Vocational service, which encourages Rotarians to serve through their profession and practice high ethical standards. Community service, which enables Rotarians to improve the lives of those around them. And international service, through which Rotarians work with clubs in other countries to help people in need and promote peace and goodwill. Each avenue of service offers its own opportunities to get involved.
To the show, you are also providing an excellent service. Your service are, everyone's service are outstanding, no doubt about it. Well, if we can say there's a lot of funds involved when you're doing anything, when you, just like Brian mentioned, polio and all these, and some countries there's a disaster. You need a lot of money. How and where you can raise the fund for this organization?
Well, a lot of the funds are raised on the streets of England,
right,
and the general public do donate very generously when we have a major national appeal. But also we raise money which we put into our own charity called the Rotary Foundation.
Okay.
And that Rotary Foundation is a means by where we can apply to them for additional funding for a disaster, and they will help us by paying us dollar for dollar. If we raise $100, they will match it with $100. Or, you know, some of the big projects that we've had in this district of District 1060 have been $300,000 and $400,000 US dollars. So they've been quite large projects.
You've been in the different countries in the past?
I've travelled around many countries in the world with and for Rotary.
Okay.
I was in Tamil Nadu in southern India
Okay.
a few years ago and met a lot of Indians there. The way that Rotary is structured, we have districts throughout the world, and we are District 1060, which is the heart of England, but also all other districts around the world are run on exactly the same lines. And if we want to get together with another district, by the modern internet, we can exchange ideas. Sometimes we will get together with these other districts, put all our money into one pot, and then Rotary International Foundation will match it pound for pound or dollar for dollar, and it helps to go a long, long way in alleviation of disasters.
Okay. From your experience, what message you are going to deliver today?
From my experience, it's one of the best things that ever happened to me personally. I've been a Rotarian for 27 years, and as you heard, I was responsible for bringing Brian into Rotary, but I only joined Rotary because somebody invited me, and I was very pleased that the particular gentleman that invited me did so on that occasion. But the worldwide projects that I've been to quite recently have been in Africa, where we're involved in the Gambia with a major project which is literacy, teaching children, getting children to school, and making sure that the school's got all the books, papers, pencils, and the equipment that they need to educate the children. And the other projects that we tend to get involved with, and one that my own particular club is looking at now, is an eye camp, where people with cataracts can go to these eye camps, get their treatment free, and it's all paid for by Rotary, and it enables them to lead an active life, to be able to see again. And you know that cataracts are endemic in certain parts of the world, and if we can go in there and alleviate some of these problems, then so be it. That is one of the things that we are good at.
Thank you very much for sparing your time, both of you. Thank you. Thanks again to join us. Thank you.
It's an extraordinary organization of men and women who've made an investment in our community.
Rotary lets you address some of those issues in your community that otherwise you'd never address.
There's just a feeling of being in a room with a lot of friends.
People from many different backgrounds, many different cultures, whose only real commonality is that they're interested in the community, invested in the community, and are looking for a way to get back.
I've met church people and I've met surgeons.
We all look different. We're different shapes, sizes, colors.
It's about how people communicate, people helping each other, how people grow together, and how will people serve together.
It is so fun and so rewarding. The fellowship in Rotary is wonderful.
Professions and people's coming together, feeling friendship, and out of that, going out into the world doing good things.
I've always been involved in the community doing things, and I realized that if I took my resources and my brain power and interest and kind of combined it with other like-minded people, we could do much more.
I need to be part of this community, and Rotary gives me that framework.
One of the particular projects was to go to an old age home and show movies.
We ended up teaching everybody how to recycle, including my own club.
Going into school and sitting down with young people and listening and teaching them how to read.
We provide prosthesis, and we have a permanent clinic in one of the government's hospital in the community.
Whether it's digging up a playground in your community, whether it's serving soup to the underprivileged in your area.
It could be cleaning up, you know, some of our waterways. It could be working with a family in need right in our own backyard.
Rotary and community, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You know, they just go together real nicely.
To go to a community event and say, oh, look at all these Rotarians, and that feeling of knowing that there's something greater than yourself that's doing really good things across the community, I get a lot of satisfaction from that.
By relating to other human beings, reaching out to them, helping them in some way or other, or giving them hope.
It gives you joy. It gives you satisfaction. Most of the good things you do comes back to you severalfold.
When I initially joined, it was to find a way for me to get more involved in giving back to the community, but I think that I probably get a lot more from Rotary than I've given back. That sounds like a total stock answer, but it's totally true.
Now I'm going to introduce my new guest, past District Governor, Mr. David Butler, who had a lot of experience and provide tremendous service, outstanding service to Rotary International. आप जी ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜੋ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੇ ਰੀਅਲ ਟਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਅਡਾਪਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਨਸਾਨੀਅਤ ਦੇ ਭਲੇ ਲਈ ਹੋਵੇ ਆਓ ਕੁਝ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਬਟਲਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੈ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਬਟਲਰ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੋ ਇਟਸ ਵੈਰੀ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਸ਼ੋ ਫॉर Rotary International. From your experience, we know you had a lot of experience in different directions, different fields. From your experience, could you tell us how many years you involved in Rotary International?
Well, thank you very much for asking me to come here. It's my greatest pleasure to talk about Rotary. How long have I been in Rotary? I think I started in Rotary as a boy when my father was district governor before me, so it goes back a long time. But I've actually been a Rotarian for getting on for 40 years now. It's been the most fantastic journey of my life. It's allowed me to help the world generally. You see, Rotary is one of those organisations which is probably very unique in this world. It joins people together in so many ways. It joins countries together and people together. We haven't any problems at all within Rotary in the respect that we are non-denominational, non-religious, non-sectarian, non-political. So all people within the world can come to Rotary, to be Rotarians, to help this fantastic organisation, which has now been going for over 105 years. And it's stronger now than it's ever been. We are in 220 countries in the world, and we are presently about 1.3 million. It's a fantastic organisation. I can't say more than that. It's been my life, and I hope to continue in it for many years to come.
Okay. So this, every organisation have their aims, objective, mission statements. I'm sure because this is a worldwide organisation, this is a internationally well-known organisation.
Yes.
What objects do you want to highlight specifically?
The objects is world understanding and peace.
Right.
Each country working together in trying to achieve what is very difficult to achieve, as we know, but with a lot of help from all people of the world working together through Rotary with the same aims and objects, which are, as I say, fellowship, having a good time as well, but doing good works, helping the underprivileged, helping the children, helping the senior citizens of the world, and trying to help with hunger and health. One of the things that Rotary has been working on throughout the world is polio eradication.
David, there's one impression that people have. They said this organisation, Rotary International, is only for the professional and the retired people. What do you want to say?
I think in the old days that was in probably 30 years ago, no, probably 25 to 30 years ago, yes, I think the view was that it was professional status.
Okay.
It was doctors, bankers, solicitors, people like this. Well, that's all gone because, you know, you've got to have the Mr. Average like me. You've got to have people that are on the grassroots that can see what's going on. So Rotary now is open to the whole echelon of business. Whether you're a plumber, whether you're an electrician, whether you sweep the road, whatever you do, every occupation has got dignity, and Rotary accepts that and expects of the Rotarian who becomes a Rotarian to live to the aims and objects of Rotary.
That's the cog of a wheel.
Yeah, well, part of a cog. Part of a cog, you're absolutely
right. In this special program, Rotary International, from our TV channel, you want to say something, give a message to our viewer.
Well, the message I would give that you must look at Rotary. Well, the word must look at Rotary. My advice is to seek out a Rotarian, seek out a Rotary Club, be part of the vast organisation of Rotary, because if you look at yourself and you say, what have I done in my life? How can I do something to help somebody else? Of any nationality, of any creed, if we can get people working together, the only way they can do it, in my book, is to join the Rotary International Organisation, which is worldwide, and you are not just a number, you are someone very special.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
It's been a great pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Rotary Friendship Exchange is an opportunity for members of our district to participate in an exchange in another country. So our team just returned from Taiwan on a 10-day trip. Their district will send back also a team in late September. During this exchange, we live in the homes of fellow Rotarians. And in that, we get to experience firsthand life in another country, their culture, religion, holidays, all those things that you wouldn't get as a normal tourist.
Rotary Friendship Exchange is an opportunity to go to another country and spend time in another family's home and find out how they live and what goes on around them. For me personally, it started out as a somewhat selfish goal. I've visited a number of countries. I think it was 16 before I went to Taiwan, making it 17th country. I had never traveled past the shores of the Pacific Ocean, and I dearly wanted to do that. In fact, it was part of my bucket list, if you will. I happen to be a Santa Claus in the fall of the year, and I do that for private gatherings and for some public gatherings. And when I got over there, I had what was left of what I shaved off, which is about where it is now. And while some of the group was walking around in the parades and observing sort of things, I got a little tired, so I found a chair to sit down on the sideline. And two kids come up, about this tall, and I couldn't understand what they were talking about. Well, I think it was Vicky that came over and said, "Fred, they think you're Santa Claus." So apparently Santa Claus is known about over there. And I dearly love kids, so I said, "Well, where's their parents? I mean, is it okay? We can..." And she said, "Well, actually, the mother is trying to get you to take a picture with them." Well, come on over here, you know. And so, they came over to stand alongside of me, and I said, "Come on, let's get." And now they're sitting in my lap, and thanks to the Vicky that was interpreting, we had a real good relationship with the kids, or I did. And the mother is over there taking all kinds of pictures, and I give her my camera, so I take a couple pictures home. And this happened twice on the trip that we were on. You know, how can you not enjoy that?
to me, it was great. One family we stayed with, we had the grandchildren crawling all over us, and the whole family sat down to eat dinner, and it was the Asian experience or the Chinese experience. It was of a Chinese family. It was just awesome for me.
When I became involved with Rotary, about 5 years into it, I learned about a new program in our district, which is called the Rotary Friendship Exchange Program. And I became part of the planning committee as a host club coordinator, which is part of the assignment of making these happen. And I ended up hosting a couple from Denmark. And the way this exchange works, it's 10 to 12 days. Your team usually consists of 6 to 10, max 12 people. And you move them from probably 3 different points throughout the district. Can't move them too much, you'll wear them out, but you want some time to really get to know them. It was such a new program, people were confusing it with group study exchange, then saying, oh, I don't have 30 days to go. And we said, no, no, no. The rules on this are, you are a Rotarian, you can travel with your partner or a family member 18 years or over. And it will be a team of 8 to 10 people. Oh, and you're gone for 10 to 12 days. Oh. So the educational process for this program has been one of the RFE committee's major thrust, as well as getting policy and procedures and guidelines and timelines. I mean, I'm like the administrator overseeing what I think is just one of the greatest programs that Rotary has given us, because this is how you begin to connect with the rest of the world.
The exchange is you're family on family, and when Rotary is a family. You know, you go to the airport and you wear your Rotary pin or something like that, people recognize you. When you go to a country on a friendship exchange, you've got a friend and a family already made, and getting into their home and sharing their food and sharing their thoughts is just, it's a big family. It becomes a fun thing, and the children, I found a lot of the travels, the Rotary family is more of a family. In Brazil and the Philippines in particular, they go to meetings as a family. They meet in the evening, and we meet mainly in the morning or at noon, but they make it a family affair. They have a cookout and a barbecue on the night of the Rotary, and you have all these kids, and it's just kind of fun, you know, it's interesting.
Rotary Friendship Exchange to me was a little bit of greed at the beginning, because there isn't any place in the world I don't want to see, and this gave me an opportunity to see someplace I haven't been to. But what it turned into was something far greater than that. Living with the 2 host families, I feel that I've now have lifelong friends. I'm so anxious for them to come to Minnesota, have them an opportunity to see what we have to offer in this state. I live in a smaller community, a farming community, and they don't have farming as we know it in Taiwan. They just don't have the space for it, and they love to buy our products. And so I'm going to have an opportunity to show them how cows are milked with a robot, and they're excited to see that, and how $500,000 tractors produce corn and grain that feeds the beef that they want on their tables, and how a small community operates. 20,000 versus 7 million is significantly different in the lifestyle. We lived on the 14th floor of a very nice condo unit when I was there. When they stay with me, they're going to live on 150 acres of prairie. And so we can teach each other, and by teaching each other, we can become friends, and friends don't get mad at each other often.
I think the big picture for Friendship Exchange is probably that first small step towards world peace. And that may sound like a big step, but I think we have to get there by getting to know each other throughout the world and getting to talk to people and learn what they are like as actual people. And we find out, what I learned the most from it is that people are all the same everywhere.
How do you get world peace? Through world friends. How do you get world friends? You go live with them.
What I got most from those travels, besides making some wonderful new friends, I have a lot more Facebook friends from all over the world who write to me in Portuguese or whatever, you know. But I also, I can see what Rotary does in the world. You know, I read one place where that the most universally recognized symbol in the world is the Coca-Cola symbol. Second most is a Rotary logo. That people all around the world recognize that Rotary symbol. And when you travel to another part of the world with Rotarians, you can see why. Because there are Rotary signs for blood banks and crematoriums and schools and service projects all over the world. And you see what Rotary does to serve those communities where we visited, and to how the people interact with Rotary and how they serve their communities all around the world. And it's incredible to see that kind of dedication, and it's incredible the kinds of friendships you can make by connecting with people who are involved in their communities.
This is a perfect chance to grow in a global economy. I mean, this is we are a world. We're no longer just a local community, and you get a chance to grow and be part of a bigger part of the world.
It's another family for me, and it's just so much fun to get back and share emails and share Facebook and this type of thing, and you've extended your family, you've extended your world experience, and you know different foods. Quite frankly, I think I eat better when I'm when I'm on the road with these people, because they aren't processed foods.
By traveling the world, first of all, you get an understanding of what's going on in the world, that other people have the same problems that you do and the same joys that you have in family or the environment or whatever it might be. But you come home with such appreciation for your own country. I thank God every morning that I was born in America, because we have so many opportunities in this country that so many other people don't have. The food that we have in this country, the educational opportunities that we have in this country are immense. And I think it would make anyone going to any foreign country appreciate those opportunities and what we've been blessed with here.
The Friendship Exchange Program gives you an opportunity to do more than intellectually understand another culture. It's actually to feel it in your heart, experience it, the warmth of people, what their orientation of life is, what their day-to-day success might be, as well as their challenges. So I think it's a great opportunity to take a look at another person's shoes and be in their shoes for that day.
The Rotary Friendship Exchange I found to be a really wonderful program for exploring the world in a sense. And one thing I'd like to be sure that is clear is that it's not a program that's paid for by Rotary, it's sponsored by Rotary. But we pay our own way in the tickets, the transportation, and so on. And then we stay with host families so that you don't have the expense of hotels and things like that. But what a wonderful opportunity it is to meet people from other cultures, to learn about what they know, how they live, all of the various things. There's no other opportunity like that, I don't think, in the world. And I've been to South Africa, and now am going to go to Turkey, and looking forward to that very much.
Well, first of all, I'll share with you that I made the trip, and I started out with a budget of $3,000, and I had money left over. So it's not as expensive as one might expect. Now, it will depend on where you go and how gracious the people you meet with are, and they were so gracious. We got so many things that we never expected.
It's not a terribly expensive way to travel, and you have friends. You are there, and they're not going to let you get in trouble. You know, you can't cross the wrong border or something like that. You know, you can't make a mistake that is bad for you or Rotary, and it's just fun to do that. And the people are just so friendly, and I look forward to when we get the exchange back here to having them in my home and showing them my area of the country. And it's just going to be good.
As a global citizen, you play, you eat, you have joy, but you pay attention to all the cues around you so that when you do begin to make a difference, it will be far more successful because you have understanding. You've educated yourself, and that is where Rotary can make a huge difference in this world.